Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I'm here with my lovely co host from Tucson,
Oh, you're
Miss
so sweet.
PK. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
to tell you, though, PK, right away, right away. It was 81 degrees here today. Can you believe it?
So,
After so many months of freezing to death,
it's
80.
cooler here than it's been in a while. In fact, at the low side, we're
No
waiting
kidding.
to get warm again. So you took our warmth. Oh,
We
how dare
needed it. We needed it. I need something to warm my bones finally. It was great.
I would imagine so, honey. I couldn't take your weather anymore.
I know, I can't either. But it's
Come,
great to see you, and I know you have some information for us.
yes. Well,
What
I
are we
just
looking at here?
let people know a little bit about the fact that we've got a new moon in Aries that's going to happen Friday the 17th. And the last time a similar new moon happened, it was in 2011. So that gives you a hint of. So you may want to think back to what was going on in your life around that time. And since there's no planets retrograde now, things are going to move pretty quickly, especially if they're going to start something new right now. So you can feel wired, especially if you're a Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, or if one of these signs are your rising sign. Well, I've got a big no on two of those. So how about you, dear?
I have a Cancer rising, so I will be very cautious. But it does
Well,
sound like it's a good time to start something
it
new.
is. And
Yes?
that's
Okay.
the whole thing. There's a lot of good things that are going to be taking place, but it's going to hit so fast. It is so much all at one time. So
Mhm.
just think hard, jump right in and make it work.
Yeah. Decide where you wanna put your energy, right?
I'm going to go to the
Don't
bank.
waste it.
I'm going to ask them for samples. Do you think that'll work?
I say give it a try, you never know. The
Sound like a
stars
good idea
could be
to
with
me.
you.
But
Well, everybody, please be sure to follow us on all our social media on X and TikTok, where we have wonderful clips of all of these shows.
right.
And subscribe, please, to our YouTube channel. We also broadcast through Rumble. So if
Mhm.
you're having trouble getting us on YouTube, then you can go to Rumble. We are there as well. And tonight, everybody's in for a treat, are they not?
Yes, we are. Uh,
We have a great tarot card reader and psychic medium,
Nice.
and he is doing free readings for everybody tonight who calls in during the live show. There he is, John Briggman. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. It's the first time on our show. In
Yes.
1986, he joined the United States Army, spending the next 24 years traveling the world. And he also spent multiple years involved in drug wars. Wow, a tour in Korea, in the DMZ, and multiple other deployments with the Army, only to retire in 2007. In 2009, he became a private military contractor for the next 6 years, deploying twice into Iraq and completing multiple tours in Afghanistan. In 2015, he came home from overseas and in this same year joined a paranormal investigative team. And it was at that point that the floodgates fully opened him up to being a psychic medium. And it's at this point that the true adventure of his life began. So, John, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's our
So
pleasure.
yeah,
Yes, and you mentioned, so we were talking a little bit off the air. You have been psychic and knew you were psychic since you were a child.
yes, I had been a psychic since probably about when I remembered it was probably about 4 or 5,
Mhm.
but up not realizing that that's what it was. I thought everybody could see spirits, so
Wow.
it wasn't until later on in life, after I joined that paranormal team, when the gates fully opened. And then from
Mhm.
there, I was trained by another psychic medium. She's very well known here in Syracuse. And I did that to basically control what was happening. So, yeah, because things were
About
coming
that.
in, and I had to try to figure out what, what information was going to what spirit and what case and things like that. So, yeah.
And did your abilities help you when you were in the Army? It looks like you were in some very dangerous situations. So were you
Um,
able to use your abilities to keep yourself safe?
well, as far as that goes, it was basically my gut instinct. And I always tell my clients, listen to your gut instinct. Um, if it feels bad, if it feels wrong, then more than likely it is bad or it's wrong. So and that's
Mhm.
what I believe has kept me, out of a lot of bad situations. So yeah. So, but
Wow.
as like seeing spirits or anything like that while I was in the military, no, not really, because
Mhm.
it was all physical. Everything I was doing, it was on the physical plane, and
Mhm.
in order to do psychic mediumships, tarot readings, you have to go to the spiritual plane to do this stuff.
Right.
So yeah.
So I heard a really cool story from our producer, Chris, about a time you guys were having, was it lunch or breakfast in this little diner? You
I
want
think it
to
was,
tell us what happened?
yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure it was breakfast. It was in the middle of winter, and we went to this little diner. And yeah, we're sitting down at the booth, and the waitress kind of like walks by us to take care of the table that was kitty corner. Well, as the waitress is passing by, this little girl, blonde girl, long blonde hair, curls, she had on a floral spring kind of like sundress, very short sleeve. It was cinched at the waist. Um, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, well, first of all, she had to be about 4 or 5. So I'm kind of wondering why she isn't in school and why she is in a sundress or a spring dress when it's in the middle of winter. It was cold out.
Mm.
Had on the little black shoes. I forgot what the name is, but yeah, I
Right.
remember it to a T. And the thing was, she was standing behind a waitress, kind of like peeking around her, looking at the guests. And I also thought to myself, it's like, wow, it's like if that was my daughter and I brought her to work, I would be a little bit upset that she was kind of like trailing me, you know? So,
Mhm.
the waitress took the couple's order, turned around, and walked back down the aisle, and the little girl followed her. Well, I turned to Chris and it's like, hey, did you see that? He goes, what? I go, the little blonde girl. I go, I can't believe that she is dressed in a little spring dress when it's cold out. And he goes, what are you talking about? I go, the little blonde girl that was just here. He goes,
Mhm.
John, he goes, there is no little blonde girl. I go, Chris, yes, there is. He's like, no.
Uh,
So yeah. Um,
You saw her just as if she was alive. You didn't know she was a ghost at that point.
no, that's how real she was.
Oh.
Um,
Amazing.
so throughout, when I first started seeing spirits, it was usually with the physical eye. I can still see them with the physical eye, but it's kind of like transferred to where I can still see with the physical eye as well as with the third eye, but more so right now with the third eye. So,
So you did, I hear, find out what happened. I think Chris went back and asked very politely about the little girl.
um, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if I was with him when he did that um, or what happened. I wasn't going to approach the waitress just because if it was kind of sensitive and I didn't want to do that to her.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Makes
But as
sense.
I recall, what Chris shared is that he did find out that, in fact, the waitress had a little girl and she had passed away. So,
Oh, oh yeah, that's
yes.
news. I didn't know about that.
No, oh, see, we heard the end of the story before you did. Okay.
Guys,
Yeah,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
what was your MOS in the
yeah.
military?
No, it's been quite a ride with the psychic side of things. So yeah,
Imagine so.
I've seen thing from regular spirits, human spirits, to um, I'm going to say demons, low level demons, even to uh, things that have crossed over from different planes. And that last time I saw something like that was probably about maybe, I'd say maybe 8, 9 years ago. So, and that was quite a shock. So,
What about ETs? Have you seen any of those?
well, as far as like the grays or things of that nature, like the lizard people, things like that, no, I haven't. So,
Okay,
um,
so you're strictly dealing with the spirit dimension. Great.
right.
Well,
Mhm.
we have a caller on the line, but we always ask our wonderful readers to do a reading for PK first. So we'll start with you, PK, and caller, please be patient with us, but you'll get a sense of how John reads. So, do you need questions asked, or do you want general to just do a general reading? How do you work, John?
Basically, what I do is if my client has a specific question, that will dictate to the spread that I do, romance finances. But majority of the time, I find out that clients will have, they just basically want to see how their pathway is going. Um,
Makes
but what
sense.
I can do is, I can do elemental spread, which shows me basically things that are going on around you at the present time. So, which it's a 4 card spread, and it's fairly quickly. So it's however you guys want to do it.
I'll
Okay,
let
well, PK, why don't you kick it off with whatever you want?
let you choose.
So, do you have a question?
Oh, typical questions always about finances and possibilities of what's coming up.
I'm not hearing. I'm only hearing you.
So PK is asking about finances.
Okay. Well,
Mhm.
let me shuffle the cards and see what comes up.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to text out the phone number again.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So what I'm doing is a 3 card draw on finances.
Okay.
Um, this is a Raven deck. So a lot of things I'm going to be telling you are in relation to uh, obviously the symbols, and I'm going to explain where I'm getting the information from.
Okay.
So the first thing that I focus in on this card is number 5. It's 5 of Cups. Okay, obviously 5 represents basically adversity and loss, things of this nature. The raven, which represents you, is a very smart animal. It's highly intelligent and it remembers a lot of things. It knows what it's doing. Okay, cups is about relationships. Okay, so in this card, 3 of the cups have spilled over and 2 of the cups are full. So at this point in time, this tells me that as far as finances, there have been some losses. Um, it's about looking at what has been lost, but turning around and looking at what you still have, okay, and focusing on that and trying to make that grow, okay. And
Mhm.
within the card, there are a lot of flowers, there are a lot of trees, so things are flourishing a little bit more, okay. As I move on to the next card, um, it's Ace of Swords. Ace is about new beginnings. Okay, Swords is a little bit about challenges. So there may be a challenge on how to start a new beginning, whether it be, say, a new business venture, saving for a vacation, or just trying to work with stocks, buying gold, things
Mhm.
like this. Okay, there is on this card, it is again with the raven, there is a sword that is pointing up. So when a sword is pointing up for me, this represents being on guard, okay? Almost like you're being attacked or you're being very, very watchful, okay? So this is about watching your finances, any new or endeavors that you're thinking of, moving into, whether it be stocks, bonds, whatever, go cautiously, okay?
Mhm.
But there is also a wreath on this card. So this tells me that things should be successful. Okay. There is also growth. There's flowers on this card. So there is potential for growth. Okay. Which is good. Just be cautious on that one. As we travel further into the read as far as finances go, this is the Five of Wands. Okay. Again, five represents basically loss and adversity. Okay. So on this card, there are five ravens, which tell me that there are a lot of outside influences, and the wands are all over the place. There's no one set direction. So with this card, there seems to be a little bit of chaos going on. Okay. Um, so there, whatever venture that you may be looking at, again, be very cautious because it may turn out kind of like there may be some loss before there are gains. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if this makes sense to you, but yeah. Okay.
It does. Thank you very, very much.
What is the
Appreciate
deck that you're using? I'm sorry, PK, I didn't mean to
Mhm.
interrupt. Can you show us, just hold up one of the cards so you can see the artwork on the deck that you're using? Oh, look at that.
Very pretty.
So this is a Raven and Crow deck, yes?
This is a Raven and Crow deck.
Amazing. Wow. Well, PK, that does sound right, huh?
Well, yes, I've
Yes.
invested in something and I was looking forward to it materializing into something multiple of what I put in. And that's what I was hoping to get something on. We'll see. Great. Thank you.
Great. Okay, well, we're going to go to our caller on the line. Phyllis is waiting patiently. Hi, Phyllis.
Hi.
Do you have a question for John tonight?
Are you ready? Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Medical or financial, either one, whichever you feel. Medical or financial, whichever one you feel.
Can John hear you? John, can you hear her? Can she hear John? Patricia?
I did. I mean, I can
Okay.
hear you, Phyllis.
John may
John,
not
can you
hear
hear what the
you.
caller said? She said either medical or financial, your choice, whichever one you're drawn to.
Okay, so first of all, I was trained not to do medical, so I'm going to stay
Okay.
away from that.
Right.
And the other choice was financial.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, all right. So what I'll do is I'll reshuffle the deck and see what comes up for finances. Okay,
Great.
right.
I think this is going to be a money night.
Or lack of.
Well, this will be perfect because you just know, hey, what's my pathway look like? So
Oh,
okay. Okay, let's see. I'm drawing 3 more cards. Okay, so the very first card that I pick up is the Page of Wands. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this up to the camera.
mhm.
Okay,
Somebody's
so
talking.
the first thing I focus on is the Raven. The Raven represents a client, and as you can see, it's standing on the wand. So this tells me that there is direction. Okay. Another thing I focus on is the sun. The sun is very warm. It's all about life. It's about progress and growth. So this also tells me that things are going to start growing. Um, page Page is about messages and new beginnings. Um, which is great. And wands is about having direction and pathway. So with this first card, as far as finances go, I'm not sure if she has already started to invest, but looking at this card, things are going in the right direction. Okay. There's a lot of growth on this card. It's just a great card to start with. Okay. So as I move to the second card, and I'll show that, is Knight of Wands. Okay. Again, first thing I focus in on is the sun. It's all about life, life and growth, things of this nature. And second thing I focus on is the wand. Okay, again, it's about having direction, having pathway. Knights of Wand. The knight is about timing and moving forward on something. Okay, and this is where she needs to be cautious. You don't want to move too quickly, and you don't want to move too slowly. So this is where observation comes into play. Okay, when we observe things and we study things, this is how we get knowledge, and this is how we make an informed decision, the best decision that we can. Um, so she needs to be cautious on timing. Like if there is an opportunity that comes by, you know, take your time, study it, learn everything you can about it, and then make that informed decision. Okay, because you don't want to jump on it too early and just find out that it just falls flat on its face. Okay, but again, with this card, everything looks like it's going in the same direction. Just use caution if anything new comes up. As far as the third card goes, okay, and that is Ten of Wands. So with this card, it shows that the raven is bundling all of the wands. Okay, so this tells me that it's a time of like gathering things up, focusing on a few things instead of having things that are spread out. Kind of focus, bring in all your resources and focus on just a few certain things. And I think things will pay off in the long run. Number 10 represents things that are cycling through, things that are coming to a close. When something comes to a close, that means that also something new is opening up. Okay, so just take to heart about being cautious when new opportunities to come up, and kind of focus in on bring in all your resources and just kind of focus on those things instead of having a lot of different fingers in different pies. Kind of like just consolidate things, if that makes sense to you guys.
Yes, and that is all is what is happening right now. Thank you. Yes.
Very good. Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, Phyllis. So while we are waiting for our next caller, I've got a mystery that needs to be solved. And
Go.
I think you're the man for this, John, because we both come from Syracuse. I was born there also a million years ago. And there was somebody, a friend of PK's, who's an incredible psychic medium years ago. And he said to me, there was money left for you when you were a child, and you haven't seen it yet. But he said, you do have that. It's meant for you. Well, I never found it. I never heard anything about it. There were some strange things that were going on in the family, so who knows? But I'm bringing this mystery to you to find out who had a hand in this, who wanted me to have it, and who did not. So, will I ever see it? Will I ever find out and get to the bottom of this one? Very intriguing. So, that's the mystery.
Huh, that is a mystery.
Mhm.
Okay. So as you were talking, the first thing that popped in my head or that was shown to me was basically a male type figure. And I don't know if you have, and it felt like it felt like maybe an uncle, kind of unique, I should say, because from what I saw was, and I it feels like that maybe he has passed. Okay, but from what I saw of him, I'm guessing that maybe he was like maybe a golfer or something. If you've ever seen like golfers from the like maybe 1940s wearing
Mhm.
plaid checkered pants,
The knickers.
that's what I was shown. Like
You
plaid,
know, I gotta say to you, this is so wild because George told me the same thing.
really.
Yes, so you're on the right frequency. Keep
Right.
going.
um,
Is he?
but yeah, it was almost like a golfing type outfit. And like I said, I don't know if he was eccentric or if he rolled with he walked to the beat of his own drum, which is great. But it was like it was a whole golf outfit, like the plaid checkered pants, the was it the sweater vest type thing. So
Man.
yeah, so it feels like it's maybe an uncle that has maybe passed. So
Mhm.
I don't know if
Why
that
didn't the money get to me? It feels like there was some major impediment there that prevented it from happening. Do you pick up on anything there?
I don't know if something was lost in the works. That's what it kind of feels like. It was almost like misplaced. Um, whether it's a will or something that was supposed to be passed on that just didn't make it.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Very interesting. And yeah, I mean, how George interpreted the plaid and the golfer's outfit and all of that was that he may have been Scottish.
yes, yeah.
Does
Oh,
that
that's
fit?
very good. Yeah, because the one thing I forgot was the hat, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Scots hat. Yes,
So
that's
do you feel it'll ever come to resolution where it could manifest, or is it just gone forever?
it's the feeling that I picked up from it was it's lost. But if something is lost, it can be found. So I think it may come up again at some point in time if the right people see it, or if it comes across somebody's maybe desk or something like that. I think
Mhm.
it'll come up again.
Cool.
Very interesting.
So
Very interesting.
You're
And
going to
it's
get yours.
so great.
Mine's
Go
lost.
ahead.
I said, you're going to get yours and mine's lost. Hurrah.
Yeah. Yours has got to be found too. You can't have it that way. But I think it's wonderful. I mean, this is really a really great reading because again, there's so much confirmation in what I heard so many years ago from George, your friend.
I knew exactly who you were talking about, honey.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So thank you very much. So we have another caller on the line, and this is Cynthia. Cynthia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Do you have a question for John?
Well, I'm looking forward to moving to Mexico and starting a tiny home healing community. And I was just wondering what the cards say about that. The stars say it's a possibility next year, but I want to see if the cards align.
Did you hear that, John? Were you able to hear her?
no, I didn't.
He couldn't hear. Okay. So Cynthia wants to start something in Mexico, like a little healing center, something like that. Am I saying that correctly, Cynthia?
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
So this is what she wants to do, and she wants to know what to expect, and as much as you can tell her about that endeavor.
Okay, and we're talking about the country Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
The country Mexico, Cynthia? Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On the beach.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll do another 3 card pull and see what comes up.
All right.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I took
Okay.
off the speaker.
Okay, so I'm going to show the card first. That's the High Priestess.
Hmm.
Okay, so the first thing I focus on is number two. Number two represents balance, partnerships, duality, things of this nature. Okay, balance is very
Yes.
important. Another thing I focus on is the Raven. Raven represents the client itself. Underneath that, I have a chalice, swords, wands, pentacles. So this tells me that she has, the client has a lot of things, a lot of tools to go by, a lot of different things that she can use to advance herself on this pathway. Okay, and the priestess is about basically um, lessons, things of this nature. Okay, so with this card, there is a lot of flourishment, which is great. It seems like that the pathway that she is trying to move down, um, it seems like she has everything that she needs to do it. Okay, so I'm going to move to the next card. Okay, this card is Nine of Wands. Again, the Raven represents my client. Nine represents fruition. Now, what fruition is it's a lot of things that are coming in all at once. It is about what you put into a project is what you get out of it. If you put in Class A effort, usually your project is going to turn out to be a Class A project. If you do basically like um, kind of like a half-ass job, usually that's what you're going to get out of the project. Okay, and in
I
this
get it.
case, with the sun and the foliage that is growing and flourishing, sun represents growth, it represents life, things are flourishing. So again, her potential for this pathway seems very, very good. Okay, let's see what else. Okay. So with the Nine of Wands, because there are so many wands, this tells me that there are a lot of other pathways that can possibly she can travel down, okay, to get to her goal. But she also needs to keep in mind about focusing on just one or two. That way, you know, it's about just instead of getting confused, getting overwhelmed, she needs to focus just on a few pathways to get to her goal. Okay, but with Nine Wands, this tells me that there are going to be opportunities that are going to be presented to her as well. She just needs to choose the best opportunities that are coming in front of her. Now, for
Great.
the third card, and it's the Fool's card. Now, okay, so with the Fool, it's about being naive. Okay, it's about the Fool isn't dumb or stupid or anything like that. It's about the Fool hasn't been um, subjected to all of kind of like the evils of the world. So this person is going into the world wide-eyed open. Everything is in awe. Okay, everything is new. So I don't know if this is maybe her first business venture that she's trying to do. But with the Fool, it's about being very cautious as you move down that pathway. Okay, it's about trusting your own instincts and relying on yourself. But it's also about you knowing what you're doing, you observing everything that is going on around you to make a good and informed decision on going down that pathway. So just be cautious. That's all. And
So
as far
overall, it sounds very positive for
it
this
does,
investment.
it
Mhm.
does. It sounds very positive. And the cautious thing maybe because she is looking to go to Mexico. Um, depending on where in Mexico she's trying to open up a shop, it can be
Mhm.
it can be very dangerous, or it can be very secure. So this is, I believe, where the full card comes in. It's about knowing what's going on around her. Okay,
Mhm.
but everything else looks positive.
It's not far from the border.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's almost in California. It's that close.
In
You're
Arizona. It's almost in Arizona.
Oh,
Okay.
in Arizona. Okay.
So it sounds like it's on the
That's-
board.
Yeah,
Yeah. So she just
Yeah.
said,
like it.
Okay.
yeah. Wow. Well, good luck with that. It sounds like a lot of fun. And you said it would be on the beach. What could be better?
Oh, very nice.
Got that
Very
right.
nice.
Definitely.
Thank you for calling, Cynthia. Good luck with your project. So tell us, you've had quite some adventures. So let's hear a little bit more about the adventures you've had, because you've encountered, you said, all kinds of things from demons to angels. So you've run the spectrum there.
Yes.
Tell us about demons. What did you encounter and why?
Well, okay. So to it's a long story, but I'll kind of simmer things down.
Okay.
One year, I vacationed up at the Cape, and I've been going up there since a child. We had stayed at this um, house in the woods in Hyannis, and it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It was surrounded by pine trees. I mean, forest. And there was something about the backyard. Um, it just had something about it that just felt very, very off. In the far backyard, uh, back in the left hand corner was the shed, and it was almost like the feeling I kept on getting was like I was being watched. Okay, and I was at that point in time, I had to be maybe about 11 years old. So we had been in the house maybe just one whole day before things started happening. Um, the very first night, I woke up screaming. I was wide awake, and what I was seeing was uh, basically spiders all over the floor, all over the wall. They were crawling on me. There were maggots, and
Oh,
yeah, it was terrible. I mean, yeah, I was like trying to brush them off me. I was brushing them off the bed, and people came running in and turned on light. As soon as the light went on, everything disappeared. Okay.
Hmm.
Now we were up there for about a week, and each and every night was the same thing. It was spiders, it was flies, it was maggots. Um, and at that point in time, I couldn't wait to get back home, not knowing what was going on. My parents thought I was just, dreaming, but I was wide awake when things were happening. So I got back home, and the same thing was happening. Somehow,
oh,
yeah,
it
somehow
followed you?
followed me. It somehow it attached itself to me. I don't know how. I don't know why, but it followed me home. Now, this had been going on for a few years. I was probably about 15. Yeah, probably about 15 when I started doing Indian Studies program down in Cornell University. And what it was my friend was Native. His father was in charge of the Cornell Indian Studies program, and we were going down there every day to help out with projects and things of that nature. Well, um, my close friends knew what was going on with me, and I came in exhausted because for years I was sleeping with the lights on, trying to keep these things from coming in. And at that point in time, even though the lights were on, things were still coming in. Um, that one day they saw I was totally exhausted, and they said, "Well, maybe you should talk to." His name was Tim. He was a Sioux medicine man, and we were working with him. So you know I talked to him. He pulled me aside. I told him what was going on, and he said that those were low level demons.
Oh,
And
Okay.
And what it was I was in the second stage of possession. There are 4 basic stages. You have infant station. You have, oh my God, I forgot what the second stage is. Um, but it's basically where they wear you down. Okay. So infant station is where things are happening all around the house, which was what I was seeing, and I was being affected by it. Um, the second one is where they wear you down to where you just want to basically give up. Okay. The third stage is possession. Now, there is a fourth stage, which is what they call perfect possession, and that's where a person actually invites the entity into themselves.
Oh.
Okay, that's perfect possession. I
So
was in
how did this stop for you?
whatever. I'm not sure what he did. Um, he never told me, but he did do something, and whatever it was worked. Um, After that, things went away. It never happened again.
So he was a pretty powerful medicine man to be able to do something like that. You're lucky
Mhm.
that you
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
because it
He was
sounds like you were just kind of opening up in your life. I mean, just going along doing your life, and you were opening more and more. And as somebody who I studied with always used to say, you know, the light attracts that much darkness. So,
Mhm.
but
yeah,
you had somebody on your team there that took care of business. So good.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. If you're a beacon, you're going to invite in everything that you possibly can.
Yeah.
Um,
Not
Love
because
isn't
you want to.
That's the truth.
definitely not.
So let's see. We have another caller on the line. We had Deborah, but she disappeared, it looks like. So Deborah, we're gonna hope that you call back in. And Tracy is on the line. So welcome to the show, Tracy. Do you have a
Hi,
question?
John. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you, and PK can hear you. Can you hear John?
No, I can't.
Okay, we'll interpret. Okay, so go ahead, Tracy. What's your question for John?
Yeah, I was just wondering what this year looks like for me.
Okay, so Tracy would like to know what this year looks like for her.
Okay. Okay. So, let's see. That spread is a little bit longer, but what I'll do is I'll do a four card spread. Usually, if as far as like a pathway spread, it takes a little bit longer. But I'm going to pull 4 cards and see what they have to say then. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the first card is 3 of Wands. Okay, so the first thing to focus on is number 3. Number 3 represents communications. Now, communications is very important. It's about seeing, smelling. It's about speech, hearing, intuition. These are ways that we communicate. Now, it's about making sure that your voice is heard. Okay, what you need needs to be heard, but it's also extremely important, if not more, about listening as well, getting feedback, things of this nature. Okay. Now, the one thing on this card that I'm also focusing on is the Northern Star. So this tells me that the client has a goal that she's going after. As far as achieving it, she has basically guidance, or she's being guided down that pathway.
That's
Okay.
nice.
So in background, there are storm clouds, things of that nature. There are choppy waves. So it seems like that things might be a little bit rough right now, or they will get rough. But she is, she's still on that pathway. Okay. And again, it's about communication. It's about letting your voice be known as well as hearing what others have to say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this may be um, like a venture that she is looking to advance herself on, whether it be a vacation or investment in money or just, things in general. Okay. So the second card I'm picking up is Four of Swords. Okay. Now with this card, um, one of the things I focus in on are the three swords that are pointing down. Now, for me, this represents basically a feeling of defeat. Things are not going as well as you would like them to. Um, it's again, it's a feeling of defeat or giving up. Okay. I always tell my clients when these swords come up or those feelings come up, work through it, keep moving forward. Okay, because this is a temporary type of feeling. Okay. The fourth sword that I'm focusing on is a sword that's going across, and it's about taking a rest. The sword is in a resting position. So at this point in time, when she feels down or she's feeling that she doesn't want to move forward on something, she needs to take a break, regroup herself, and then move forward. Rest is very important. It's when your body heals, whether it be physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. This is how we heal, and it's only going to help you to move forward on things. Okay. Now, also on this card, there was a window with two ravens on the outside looking in. This tells me that there are outside influences in her life. They're looking at her. They're basically kind of like studying her. Okay, these people may be more of a negative influence, so she may want to keep that in mind to just see who is around her and who is just like, just giving her negative advice, like non. It's like, oh, you don't want to do that. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, on the third card, okay, we have Three of Pentacles. So the number three has come up twice. So this tells me that you may not be a person that voices your opinion all that much. You may sit back and just kind of keep things in. Again, if you want something, voice your opinion about it. These are basically a lot of only ways that you're going to get something. Okay, voice your opinion, let your needs be known. Again, also listen to what other people are saying though. Okay, now on this card, there was a lot of flourishment. There were cherry blossoms. In fact, there were actually ripened cherries. And in the background, there is another raven. So this tells me that there is some type of a partnership, whether it be a friendship, a lover. It could be basically a working relationship as well. But they're sharing cherries together. So this tells me that this is somebody that's close to her. Okay. Pentacles. Pentacles is about monetary value, wealth, money, things of this nature. It's also about foundation. Now, foundation comes in a lot of different ways. A foundation can be a belief system, an ethos, something that you believe in that's going to move you through each and every single day, especially when the days get hard. Okay. Um, when you have a good solid foundation underneath you, even if it's a skill set, if you have a good solid foundation, when everything is crumbling down around you, that foundation is still going to be there. So you can rebuild on top of that foundation. You can build bigger, you can be built stronger. Okay. On the fourth card, this is Page of Swords. Okay. And page is about new beginnings. It is about new messages. Swords is about challenges. So there may be some difficulty in starting new projects, things of this nature, but the opportunity is definitely there. Okay. Um, Also on this card, there are dropped feathers from the raven. So this tells me that there are going to be sacrifices that you have made and will continue to make throughout your life, which everybody does. Okay. The sword that's on this card is in basically a transitional type position. Okay. And this tells me that things are basically they're growing, but they're also moving from one stage into another. Okay, so on the background of this card, it seems like it's a little bit stormy, but the raven is also flying through the storm. So as far as everything goes, it seems like the pathway is starting out a little bit rough, ending a little bit rough, but um, it seems like you're on the right pathway. It doesn't look like there's anything terrible, but the big thing to take away from this are the number three about communication. Okay, if you if you are again starting a new pathway, it's all about communication. Okay, making your voice known, making your needs known. So this is something that seems to be coming up on your pathway. So just make sure that your voice is known, but also listen to other people on what they're telling you as far as information goes. It doesn't look bad. It looks fairly good. There may be a few rough areas, but it seems like that you'll get through them.
Sounds good.
It does.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
Sounds 26 is a good year overall.
Hopefully.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you for your call tonight.
Thank you so much.
You're very good at what you do, John. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You said that you're from Syracuse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with Salve?
No.
No? Okay.
What is that?
It's do you know where the New York State Fairgrounds is?
Kind of. I mean, this is a million years ago, so.
Oh, yeah, that's where I was basically raised, was over in Salve. So it's yeah, it's a very nice town. So
Well, I'm glad you had a good experience. It sounds like I couldn't wait to get out of there. I could not wait to leave. I counted the minutes. I swear to God. Being the second most cloud-covered city in the country, I really preferred the sun. I just didn't like it for a number of reasons there. I went back, I think, one time when I was an adult, and that was it. That was it. And every time I run into people like you and Chris, they all have good things to say about Syracuse. So
yeah,
I
I'd rather
guess
be
I
in Florida.
changed my perception.
Oh, that makes it nice. Good. What
So
got you interested in the cards, reading cards?
did
What
you
was
hear
it? What was it that got you interested in reading cards? He probably doesn't hear me.
Well, Chanel is on the line. Can you do a quick reading for Chanel?
It seems like I've lost voice.
Lost-
I can't hear anybody.
Audio. You can't hear anyone? No. What can we do about that, producers? Oh, magical ones. Can you bring the sound back? Let's see. Unmute. Chris.
Yeah, I can't hear anybody.
Oh,
Oh, this is terrible. My goodness. What happened to your
that's all there is
son?
to it.
See, I said something bad about Syracuse. Well, now he's gone.
You hurt his feelings. I keep telling you, you got to quit doing that to people. You know what?
I know. This is not fair. Oh my gosh. And I wanted Chanel to have a reading too.
We'll have to have him come back so Chanel can give a
Let's
reading.
see if Chris can get him back. And if that's the case, then good. Amanda said that they're going to see what they can do to get him back. I am really surprised about how his reading corresponded quite a bit with what George had to say from many years ago.
Right.
Isn't that fascinating? The same when as soon as he said plaid, I was like, "Oh my god."
I
That's what
got to
George
think of the
said.
Scottish golfer.
Yeah,
You know,
and George described the same outfit.
remember
Yeah,
you talked
'cause
about it before.
I shared it with you because it was a remarkable reading that George gave. He was one of the best. But my gosh, so for John to come up with that's incredible.
No mistakes, only supposed to be, my darling.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now Amanda's saying John may be having phone issues, which is a shame. So
Well, let them know that we'll just get him back at a later date.
we'll get him back. We'll tie him down to his desk.
Put the microphone right there.
That's right. He won't be able to move, and he'll just do readings. No,
That's
it's really interesting because with tarot, it's a whole other thing than psychic mediumship. Ah, can you hear now?
I'm back.
Yeah,
Hey.
And I can hear
He's back. There he is. We were just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. So, can we get Chanel on for a reading? Is Chanel still with us? Chanel, are you there? Do we still have Chanel with us?
Hi, thanks for having me on.
There she
I saw that you were using the Crow and Ram deck, and my artist name, I'm a musician, and I go by Cuervita, which is Spanish for little crow. So I felt called to get a reading from you if you still have time.
Yes, we'll make time. Okay, do you have a
Sorry.
specific question, Chanel?
Yeah, if you could just do either a general reading or something related to my music, if there's anything that comes through.
Okay.
Did you hear that? Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm just going to shuffle back and see what happens. Okay, so let's see. The first card that I picked up, I'm going to show it. It is 8 of Wands. Okay, so again, Raven represents the client, and number 8. Number 8 basically represents things that no longer work for you or with you. It's about clearing out things that are clusters. If you have negative people in your life that are trying to bring you down or give you negative advice, these are people that no longer work for you. So you need to kind of like maybe cut them out or isolate them. That way you have a more of a positive feed on what you're trying to do, whether it be your music, your career, your life. Okay. If you have
Okay.
if you have equipment, objects in your house, a lot of clutter, get rid of that. As soon as you get rid of clutter, it makes room for new and more positive things in your life. Okay. Now on this card, there is growth down at the bottom, which is great. So this tells me that things are growing, things are flourishing for you. You have with the eight of Wands, they are all moving or all pointing in one direction. So this also tells me that you are heading in the right direction, but it seems like there are going to be a lot of different opportunities that will get you to basically your goal. Okay, so for right now, things look like they're going well. Okay, moving on to the second card, we have the Tower. Okay, now with the Tower card, it's about things that are crumbling down around you. It could be a bad day. It could be a bad week. Now, just like with the other client I just had, it's when the tower crumbles down around you, what you have left is foundation. Okay, again, whether it is a skill set, whether it is are just skills in general, this makes up your foundation. A religion can be a foundation as well. Your belief system. If you have a good foundation, you can rebuild on top of that. You can build smarter, you can build better, you can build bigger. Okay. So when the tower crumbles, this is just a phase that you're going to go through. But you have that solid foundation. So you'll basically pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and remake yourself. So you continue down your pathway. Okay. Now, the third card is Seven of Wands. Okay. Now, with wands is about having direction. It's about having pathway. It's about taking action. Okay. Now, the raven that was sitting up on top of the hill, on top of that wand, that represents you. So this tells me that again, you have that pathway. You have to take that action to move forward on everything. It's also about with the other ravens. These are people that are around you that may want to kind of like push you off or topple you from that hilltop.
Yeah.
Just like when we were kids, king of the hill. You're
Mhm.
sitting on the hill,
Mhm.
and it's about other people trying to topple you off to get your position where you are. So just be aware of this. Now, on this last card, there was fallen feathers. So again, this tells me that you are making sacrifices. You have made sacrifices, and you continue to make sacrifices to get to where you need to go. Okay, but as long as you follow that pathway, it should be good. Now, number seven represents basically belief in yourself, belief in your universe, belief in the universe. It's about having that self-confidence. When you make a decision, that is your decision to make. You own that, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, but it's about having that self-confidence to move forward on everything. Okay, to get to where you want to go. If you want it bad enough, go for it.
Wow. What do you think of that, Chanel?
Yeah, no, that was great. That definitely feels like it rings true. So thank you. And thank you for giving me some advice on what areas I need to focus on. And thank you for making time for me.
You're welcome.
Our pleasure. Well, we probably should wrap the show now. John, thank you so much for being here. And let's see, we need to tell everybody how they can get in touch with you so they can have a private reading, either using your psychic mediumship skills or tarot or both. So how do they find you?
Well, I am on Facebook. I have a business page. It's called Kindred Spirit Medium. And they can contact me through there. My email is on there, as well as I think my phone number might be on there as well. But we can always set something up if they're interested in doing a reading. So
Terrific.
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yes. Well,
Definitely.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Also,
Excellent. Go ahead.
I do house cleansings and blessings as well.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
Good. You're brave. You are a brave one. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We will definitely be having John back. If you didn't get to make it onto the studio tonight, then, or into the studio tonight, you will have another chance. And we will be having, I'm just going to announce it now because she's so crazy popular, is Deborah Graham. Deborah Graham is coming back at the end of the month. You don't want to miss this, I'll tell you. So anyways, thank you so much, John. It's a pleasure meeting you and working with you here for the first time. And so we will be back next week with another great show. And until then, we'll see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.